Imposter syndrome is a psychological occurrence in which an individual doubts their skills, talents, or accomplishments and has a persistent internalized fear of being exposed as a fraud. And if you are here, you're likely trying on some new shoes, meaning you're trying on a new version of you, a new style of living, a new style of eating, a new way of going to social events and not overindulging and staying aligned with your health and fitness goals. You're trying on a lot of new things. And what typically happens, and where I see imposter syndrome happen, is that self 2 starts to doubt self 1. And a reminder, self 1 is you in the moment doing difficult things and living life authentically. Self 2 is the critic that is searching for safety. So 1 is striving for progress and everything you told me you want to do on day 1 on the whiteboard. 2 has limiting beliefs. It doesn't believe you can do it. It wants you to come back home to the more safer status quo that it already knows, because 1 is out here diving into the unknown and uncharted territories. And we need to be there because that's where progress happens. That's the only way that you're going to get better, is to do things that you've never done before. So that friction between 2 and 1, that doubt, that's how imposter syndrome becomes a limiter in the background of your capabilities and stops people, quite frankly, from living a meaningful life. I did 1.0, which you know as Origin now, for almost 5 years now. And I started from a place of extreme imposter syndrome, sitting in a room alone between classes that were only 1 to 3 people in the beginning, wondering if I can do this because the results were showing that, I couldn't do it well yet. Attendance, financials, it just wasn't one of those things that took off extremely fast. So it created a lot of imposter syndrome. And I think the health journey for most people is going to mimic that, where that's why we ask for a 3-month commitment from all of our members in the beginning. It takes 3 months to get something going. It might take a year. And the only reason I've been able to state my intent before even having the keys for this new business is because I'm confident in my ability, and I've earned that, and I've conquered the imposter syndrome through 5 years of owning and operating what we know now as Origin. You have to be able to trust yourself in big moments by continually proving to yourself, proving to the doubting self 2 that no. Self 1 shows up. They show up on December 23rd, the same that they show up on January 1st. So at the end of the year, self 1 is still here, working, grinding towards whatever it is we set out to do at the beginning of the year. And when you repeat that over and over and over and over, of course, you're going to build a reputation, right? A business, Yelp reviews, a small social media following. But I think more importantly, you're going to build up the ability to look in the mirror and say to self, I do hard things. And if you haven't heard, the new business venture is going to be Origin Personal Training, located next door, connected by a small doorway. And the mission there is to help other coaches and trainers have an authentic place to train. And in doing so, I hope to work with people of all ages and abilities that are looking for mentorship around building a business that not only serves our clients, because I think we're extremely effective at that. Any personal trainer, any coach is extremely attached to and effective at helping clients, but also creating a business that's an asset to not only financial health, but health. A business that provides to you, the trainer, the coach, the amenities, the bodywork sessions, the chiropractic adjustments, the time off, the schedule that you need to continue to show up for your clients in person, and then the time that you need to create great programs for personal and professional development in all of those things. And I know it's possible because I've done it myself, and I've guided a handful of people to that promised line. And the vision for this business is to help more people have a place that they train their clients, but is also a training facility built by someone who cares about authentic health and fitness. Equipment that any of the highest level lifters can walk into and say, wow, they have that here. A culture where we are aligned by the pursuit of strength and support each other and look to refer to each other for our different unique talents and abilities. Because as I've unlocked our network in our business, I've found that I'm much more giving and willing to help others because I'm more confident, and I've conquered my own imposter syndrome enough to where I'm not working from scarcity and I can really pour into other people. And that's what I want to provide for those who will be working with us at Origin Personal Training. And another big part of imposter syndrome is not having a relationship or understanding of how vulnerability works. My relationship is that I know when I press send on this episode, I'm going to feel this knotted stomach feeling of, oh my God, what did you just do? Was the video right? Was it centered? Did you do something weird with your hands? Did my biceps look big enough? Did I look skinny? Was my hair out of place? All of those things hit me in the gut every time I press send on our content. Every single time, without a doubt. But my relationship with vulnerability, that feeling, that skin crawling feeling, that gut feeling of discomfort and regret, quite frankly, is that I know if I got that feeling from something I did, or if I had that feeling before I stepped on stage to do something, I did something right. In my coaching of other coaches, if I had to hesitate to send them or give them some coaching experience, like I just had to coach a coach on, hey, here's my calendar snapshot. I need you to do this because I can tell that you're not calendaring your events and your life right now. And your clients might also be feeling that as well. And if they're feeling that, all of your hard work is quite frankly going to shit because they don't trust you. If you're not consistent in the way you show up every single day for your people that you're training, you're really just like chasing your tail and trying to build and earn trust of people. So, I don't love doing those coaching things, and they're uncomfortable, and I almost didn't send it, but I knew it was what this person needed to hear to get better. So I felt that skin crawly stomach feeling before I sent that message. And as I was about to delete it, I said, no, hold on. This is my relationship with that feeling. I know that it's a good thing. It doesn't feel good, but I know that on the other side of this message being sent, I'm going to move the culture of personal trainers and coaches in the right direction. And oftentimes, if you're feeling that, right on the other side of that feeling is the right thing to do, whether it's stepping on stage and competing, whether it's having a crucial conversation with someone at work or a relationship, on the other side of that feeling is all great things. So, I've definitely tamed my relationship with it over the years and consistently putting out content, putting out my thoughts about life and health, unpopular thoughts at times, thoughts that are going to provoke people to feel probably a similar feeling. But I know if I did that, I did the right thing for that person. The thing that really pushes people to get out of imposter syndrome or have a better relationship with it is actually doing meaningful things, like doing hard things, challenging yourself. The feeling of a great DexaFit scan, doing a meet, stepping up to a weight that you had no idea you can do, redefining the way that your culture thinks about strength training through your pursuits. Like, these things are waiting for you in the gym, and they're a training ground for you to create a relationship with that self too, who's constantly doubting, and take that into your other facets of life. And with that confidence, I've been able to more clearly articulate my intentions for this new business. I never would have thought of announcing Origin 1.0, and I didn't do so before it was basically completely finished. In which, in hindsight, that's probably why those first 3-4 weeks, 3-4 months, first year, whatever you want to call it, was pretty painful because I didn't allow people access to become fans of what I was doing and share openly the construction, which probably could have created or would have yielded a much more feeling that Origin, quote unquote, blew up when it opened, because more people would be fans of the work that I put in. They would have seen the care that we put in, my family and I, grinding here, Angelo, everyone that came in and worked on the building. They would have seen that and been fans of it and respected it and realized that that's part of the culture that we're building. But because I had that imposter syndrome, I wasn't ready to put that out to the world. I really left a lot of money in business. And when I say money, I don't mean actual money. I mean results. I left a lot of results on the table by not sharing those things. So this time around, to be frank, I don't care. I know what I can do because I've sat in this room and I've tried my best for 5 years. And I have confidence that I can do the next thing because I did this thing over and over. And I felt the feeling in the stomach, and I continued to press forward. And every time I pressed forward, on the other side of that was development, not only for me, but for the people who entrusted me with their careers and the people that entrusted us as a staff with their health. And I think I work with a lot of people who are going through career transitions, life transitions, relationship transitions. If you're going through one of those things, a few things to remember is that you are always exactly where you're supposed to be. And that's a form of ownership that I take in my life. I'm always exactly where I'm supposed to be. I'm not supposed to have a more successful business than I have. I'm not supposed to be stronger than I am. My actions have yielded what I currently have and where I stand in life. And that's my way of ownership, but also empowering myself that, okay, with more actions, different actions, more consistency, I can positively influence whatever it is I'm looking to do in life. Or if you have a gift towards this, you got to go. These gifts are not just meant for us. If you have that gift, if you have a piece of that gift, you think you might have it, those gifts, they were given to you for a reason, and it wasn't for you to sit in a room with them by yourself. They were meant for others. So that's something else that helps me have a relationship with putting myself out there. Conquering that imposter syndrome is I don't think that my work is for me. There is a selfless service in it that allows me to detach my own fears from what I do. And that selfless service has allowed me, especially this year, to put into the world more positivity, or I should say, to put into my world, to my ecosystem of people that look to me for health and fitness advice, career advice, life advice, whatever it may be. It's allowed me to put more of me into the world because I know I'm not just doing this for me. And my fears or whatever don't matter. This is a gift that I believe was meant for more than me, but to spread across a community and the ecosystem that we're building here. So I do it mostly for others. And when you start to think of your gift as selfless service, it it becomes a lot more fun. And any doubt that you had, anything that you felt was holding you back, it all of a sudden just unleashes, and you're left to do what you want to do and live a more meaningful life.